are finding their ideal client, how it's sort of manifesting for them. I heard Riley say, he's seeing that IT managers seem to respond more to his messaging. I haven't gone through that process yet, although I've been thinking about it, is, going through and seeing, are there any patterns, in terms of the type of people that are responding to me. So yeah, I guess my question is about ideal client and how to find that and how to speak to them.
So, and again, this physician, how much asset he had?
I didn't ask him numbers. I always have a hard time with that. I don't know why, but
you just ask him. He'll tell you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Fair enough. So again, I think here's really the process of ideal client. If you just look at it from the perspective of simple manner, right? Because an ideal client for anybody is someone who really, first of all, an ideal client is a client. So number one.
Right.
And that's number one. Right now is an ideal prospect, potential client, which I think is the right way to put it. But yeah, you will only be able to really know all of that once you get certain amount of clients onboarded, once you start working with them, and once you have amount of time that has been spent together, which could be 6 months or a year or so and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And until then, I think it will be the aspiration criteria more than factual criteria. And that's what you want to lead with right now. So you want to just define a set of simple criteria with full knowledge and awareness that you are going to get the time to go back and revise and optimize. It's going to be necessary anyways as an ongoing improvement process. So I wouldn't, in our original version 1 of the program, in the week 1, we had an ideal client, which we kind of moved into week 4. The research part, we used to actually have it in week 1, and we were very niche focused in the beginning because I also saw a lot of kind of benefit of marketing with a niche based approach, which I do as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up using the same method for advisors. But the reason we moved into the target market segment approach, which is more broader and not a niche, is because, again, as I said, the process is more powerful at this stage for all of you guys than the niche.
Right.
And reach out and objection handling and tracking data and understanding what's working, what's not working, finding out, should I fix search criteria or should I fix the message? And what are my numbers looking like? What is the cost per lead if you go into Facebook ads like Friday? I think that is what we call process. How do we educate? What content I write? How do I follow up? What is my compliance guidelines? What do I, just there's all these little pieces that is really the most important thing to work on in the first 3 to 4 or 5 months in the program, while making progress with some of these meetings and converting some clients.
Right.
That way you are able to see social media working for you. Because then once you onboard some client, you will know, this is not going to take some of it is you're going to feel it yourself, that I'm finding people who have $1 million, they actually, are more respectful in the meeting. You'll actually feel it.
Right.
It's not even going to be all factually. It will become apparent. It will be in front of you pretty much over time. That I think is when you will start to dictate. And once you have clients, and then you would even know, oh my God, this is the best client because of this. And then you would really be able to go and find more of those people. It is a long-term process. It will take you months, but we don't have to just not make any progress, obviously, because of till we achieve that kind of a thing.
Right.
So I think in the beginning, you really want to keep going in the directions where you're getting the most meetings, honestly, and converting into most client, even if it is not the best kind of a feeling meetings that you're having, as long as you're getting enough of those, and you're able to convert people into clients. I would just work, because then now once you have your process built, then we know exactly how to change, and get the ideal client in through the process.
Right.
So I
Okay.
wouldn't get too carried away at this stage with any of this. Of course, make observation, make a list saying I'm liking physicians, and time to time test with it. Like, invite more physician if you feel like for a week. Like, just play with
Mm-hmm.
it a little bit, right? But don't
Right.
get too carried away about any particular group at this point, because the one thing you don't want to do is, once something starts working in the beginning, you don't want to immediately pivot. Like, if you got one of these meetings or two of these meetings, then just continue and see if you continue getting more, versus start to like perfect things, every step, if you will. Like, sometimes it's better to just keep it as it is for a long time
Right.
and not improve, because then the improvement can happen on the sales call level and not on
Got
the
it.
LinkedIn level. So keep your LinkedIn same if you're getting decent amount of meetings for now,
Mm-hmm.
and just work on your calls and make sure you're getting to second meetings, and then work on that process, because then there's always places where you can put your energy,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to kind of divide our energy, because it's very limited,
Right.
into these things, right? And you only work and improve when it breaks, or you're not getting anything going, which can happen sometimes. You'll see, oh my god, nothing happened in the last week on LinkedIn, or 2 weeks didn't get any meetings, or this and that. Then we want to understand and assess a bit of it. But if it is generally going okay, then keep that and like work on the other steps, if you will. So I think we'll keep working, and we'll figure out a good ideal client, for sure. And that's obviously, eventually you want to have a practice that is extremely simple, where you're
Right.
working with only certain types of people, only offering them two things, and being very profitable and able to grow as fast as you want, so that you have everything simple. That's kind of the end goal.
Absolutely. Yeah. I hear so much about ideal client. Even on my end, amongst other Edward Jones people, and it's like, all this pressure. I don't know. Like you said, an ideal client is a client. At this point.
Also need to give the time, as I said. Like, people don't understand time, but you really don't know a client's behavior for unless they are with you for 6 months. You have done 3-4 meetings, they have seen the upside and downside of market,
Yeah.
because every market goes down
Right.
either, right? So you need
Right.
cycles like that, which requires time. But the simple thing always in the big at this stage for all of you guys is, what are your goals? That includes the income goals, and everything else, and what activities lead to that fast.
Right.
That's like, and a lot of things are going to be not very ideal, like the work that you have to put in, the rejections you get, like everything is going to be unideal.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to focus on the achievement of our goals, and the targets that we have, and and then later on we'll be able to improve one piece at a time as you make progress. But there's no point in having done everything good in front but missing your mark, goal by a mile, right? That just is not going to be the right thing to do.
Right.
So I would, I kind of keep it really focused on number of meetings, who it is, what kind of asset, what do I need to ask, what problems they're facing, where I'm getting stuck, where am I losing them. That's more important than anything else right now. And that could be doctor, that could be engineer. For now, let's just work with a few different groups.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to, if you can get, magically, if you're getting people of certain type, that's fine, take them. But the ideal part of the ideal client model is going to be a service delivery, as I mentioned last time as well. It's never going to be just the client led only. So it's never going to be about a physician. It is going to be about Kim having a physician solution
Mm-hmm.
that attracts physician.
Right.
It is never going to end with somebody being a physician. That's the starting point. But it's going to be you having a physician perfect solution. Till such time, we keep working pretty hard, and even after that you work hard. But that's a bare minimum to attract your ideal client to you, because you have an ideal solution for an ideal client. in the absence
Right.
of ideal solution, there ain't any ideal client. You're just
Right.
thinking they're ideal, but you're just lucky at that point. So that's eventually where we want to build. That's kind of how I see everybody building their practices, where they have a good solution for a group of people so that they can keep marketing just to focus on those people and just take all of them. Okay. So, and that requires steps to get there, slow and steady. And if you just focus on that, then it'll be too long to get there without getting results. And that's why we moved over from niche, because niche only works when you have a solution that is niche focused. Like our case, for example, our program, if a realtor comes in, I mean, they won't be able to make any sense of it, ideally. Like,
right.
Only for advisors and nobody else. So we are like, our solution is focused on advisor. That's why our niche is an advisor. And of course, we started with the niche first, but very quickly we built the solution once we knew it was a good niche. And we tried doing that for advisors, but because everybody works in different companies and all that, we felt it wasn't something we could easily do for you. Like I could not have got into the program and say, okay, come on, I'm going to help you become the best advisor for doctors.
Right.
Edward Jones may not have as good a portfolio like Merrill Lynch, for example. I don't know, right? So it was not the right practical way to get you guys there. So that's why we kind of go down the path. But as you advance, we'll be able to find a solution for your company, your product, and a niche. So there's many pieces to making this whole thing work really well. It's not a LinkedIn search criteria to do niche.
Okay. That's true. You need to think bigger.
Yeah.
Focus on the process.
Exactly. Start with the process, and then everything else will slowly get built, because this is a long-term game, right, for us. So.
Right.